All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another day of availabilities. We have Jayson Tatum up now. Before we get started, just the two regular reminders to use the raise hand function for questions and also to unmute and then remute yourselves after that question has been asked and answered. So with that, we will start questions for Jayson. We'll start with Sherrod. Go ahead, Sherrod.
Can you hear? Jayson, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, just when you made the decision to be part of the team going to Orlando, how difficult was that decision for you in light of being a young father and just some of the issues that obviously you and a lot of players were waiting?
I can't hear you.
All right, Sherrod, we're going to come back. Sounds like there's a connection issue, so we're going to come back to you. We'll go to Gary Washburn. Go ahead, Gary.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Jayson, how you doing, man?
How you doing?
Good. What has the last few months taught you? I mean, you're a young guy. In terms of race, relations, what have you learned over the last few weeks? How have you been able to read more? Have you made an effort to kind of be more, I guess, involved in social issues? What have you learned?
I've learned a lot. I'm sure as everybody else has. Obviously, these last couple of months have been tragic. Obviously, for what we're fighting for. And honestly, I think that now just in 2020 with social media, things are just coming to light. All these issues and incidents are now being recorded. So it's scary to think about all the things that we may not see or may not hear about. But I think now more than ever, people are more willing to have these tough discussions, more willing to listen, open to change. And then I think this is just a time that we all need to come together and just listen to one another. Everybody, especially every black man, has a story dealing with race or social injustice or dealing with the police. And there's so much that we can do to change, and hopefully this discussion doesn't end anytime soon. Hopefully we continue to make progress. Obviously it's not going to happen overnight, but just something that we shouldn't forget about, in 6 months. And we have to wait, unfortunately, to the next incident, that we continue to raise awareness and invest in the youth and educate, the younger generation on everything that's going on in the world to make it a better place for, my son and, his kids and things like that.
All right, let's try again. Sherrod.
Yes. Can you hear now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Jayson, how much thought did you give to not participating with the team in Orlando? A lot of players were not sure if they wanted to be part of that. How much did you think about not being a part of Celtics, and what, if anything, made you decide that this was the best thing for you to be with the team in Orlando?
I was very unsure. I don't really think I made a decision until probably a few days ago. There's a multitude of reasons why I wasn't comfortable. Still not excited about it, not thrilled. Obviously, with what we're fighting for against racism and social injustice and equality. Obviously, the virus is still very well and alive and continues to rise in Florida. And for me, just being away from my son for 2 or 3 months. That's what's really bothering me, knowing that he's only 2.5, and especially when they're that young, their growth, they change every week. Just knowing I'm going to miss out on that. Miss my mom, my family. So it's been tough. Obviously, I miss playing basketball. I miss competing. But all those reasons and thoughts came to my mind about not going and not playing, and I decided to play, obviously because we're going to try to compete for a championship. But I think hopefully this is a great opportunity to continue to raise awareness and be a part of history. As we continue to Black Lives Matter movement and the fight against racism. And I think hopefully this is going to help. Obviously a lot of people are going to be watching. I think we can make a stand, continue to raise awareness, and not let the conversation die down. And I think it's going to be a part of history. So I think that's a big reason why I decided to go. Like I said, I'm not thrilled, excited about it, because I'm going to be away from my son and my family for so long. But, I'm old enough to make my own decisions and, live with it. So I don't expect anybody to feel sorry for me. But, I think that should answer it.
All right. Tom Westerholm?
Jayson, you mentioned Deuce and just how hard that's going to be. Have you talked about or made any plans in terms of trying to stay connected to him? Just kind of trying to stay involved from so many miles away.
I mean, yeah, I FaceTime him every day. I think that's the best I can do. He's still young enough that he doesn't know that I'm going to be gone for so long. So it's hard. I can't have that conversation with him. But yeah, just FaceTime him. It's not going to be easy. I've never been away from him for more than 2.5 weeks. So, we're going to have to deal with it.
Mark Murphy?
Hey, Jayson. This is also kind of a pivotal time for you contract-wise. You have a chance at that extension. Did the agreement the Players Association and the league reach about insurance, did that allay your fears at all?
No, because it wasn't. I guess without trying to get into too much detail, that the agreement that they came to, didn't really affect in a good or a bad way my decision, and what I was looking or thinking about maybe signing this summer. And I think that's another reason that I decided to play, because I seen that there were reports out there that said I wasn't going to play because of my contract, and then I saw reports that said that was a lie. And I never talked to anybody about that or said I was or wasn't going to play because of my contract. And I knew that if I didn't play without people hearing why I wasn't going to play, I knew they would assume that I didn't want to play because I didn't want to risk losing out on that contract, and that would be insensitive, especially during this time with so many people who are filed for unemployment, for me to be worried about X amount of dollars. So that didn't have anything to do with sway if I was going to play or not. It really just, for me, the main concern was just being away from my son. That's what was most important to me, and if I was or wasn't going to play.
Okay, it was reported that you were a pretty active voice in the player meetings on that subject. I mean, did you basically try to advocate for yourself and advocate for the situation?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of guys that were in my situation. A lot of guys are going to be free agents, and I mean, if you just think about it, we've been off for 4 months. Not being able to be in a facility. Obviously, we were supposed to stay at home, and not having the normal access that we would have to a training facility or the weight room or the gym, and then kind of asked to be, ramp up and pick it back up at such a rapid pace and go down here and play. I mean, guys are putting a lot on the line. Nothing is guaranteed. No matter if they say that you're young enough that no matter what you'll still get paid, or I think it's still putting a lot on the line. I know a lot of people won't really care that much because they feel like we make so much money, which is true. But there are a lot of guys that, especially I understand guys like Bertans that deciding to sit out because he has dealt with injuries and he was looking to get get paid this summer. So I mean, it makes sense. Everybody has their own reasons for not playing, and I don't fault anybody, as this is a tough decision to go through. But I was voicing for them to make some type of adjustment that could give some guys some stability going into this time that's so uncertain.
Thanks, man.
Jared Weiss.
Jayson, you were in this incredible rhythm as the season was ending, and after this long layoff, what do you have to do to try to find that rhythm? And do you feel responsible for, I guess, getting back to that point when you hear people like Scottie Pippen saying that they feel like they're ready to lead a championship and things like that?
I think it's just reps. You're just getting back in the gym, getting back in the flow of things. We all kind of in the same position. We took so much time off, and nobody was really, playing basketball for a long time. So just trying to knock the rust off and get back in shape, see the ball go in the hole and just get the feel for the game back. And yeah, I don't, put any pressure, from what other people say. I've always admitted that, no matter, how well people think I play or how bad people think I played, or their expectations, I hear it. I don't pay too much attention to it. I know what I expect of myself in good times and in bad. So, I don't let it bother me or affect me or get excited about it one way or another.
All right, we have time for 2 more questions, so we'll go Mark D'Amico.
Hey, Jayson. You kind of already touched on this a little bit with your work kind of behind the scenes with the NBPA and the NBA and all of these negotiations. Just what was that experience like for you to be so heavily involved in these conversations over the last few months and really play a role in how this whole thing came together?
Yeah. I remember when things were behind the scenes were starting to ramp up, Chris Paul called me and asked me that he would like me to be a part of these conversations. And for a lot of different reasons. And, I agreed. And, it's fascinating just so the work that goes in behind the scenes that, the outside world doesn't hear about. But they're always working, always listening, opening ideas on everything that you can think about, from access to practice courts to barbershops and just activities and just anything that you can think about. They've discussed and talked about. So it was cool to just be in there to listen and give my opinion on certain subjects as one of the younger guys.
And just to follow up real quick, obviously Jalen has been pretty involved in this as well. So what type of conversations did you guys have throughout the entire process of you both having your hands in this?
Yeah, JB's been involved longer than I have with the Players Association. So this was like my first go at it. And, we talked from time to time about, we was on calls together. And, it was just cool just to be 2 of the younger guys and, people respect us and willing to listen to our opinions and, things that we think that are important to talk about.
All right, last question, Abby Chin.
Hi, Jayson. Glad to see you're doing well. Sorry to shift the focus back to basketball, but there was a report that your first day back in the gym, you hit about 90% of your shots. Is that accurate?
It might be. It wasn't no defense out there, so I would hope I could make shots when nobody's guarding me.
I mean, that's pretty remarkable coming in after not working out. how does the team look? How excited are you, and where is the focus for you guys heading down to Orlando?
I mean, that's one thing I am excited about. Just seeing everybody again. Guys got new haircuts. Guys look different. So just to be able to see guys again, see them back in the gym, knowing that we're going to be able to go out there and compete with each other again, that makes it worth it. I did miss those guys, and good group to be around and enjoy seeing and competing with. So I think that's what I'm excited for, just being around those guys again and sharing the floor.
Is the focus back yet? Have you guys kind of shifted that mentality to be ready to play, or do you think that's something that will come when you get to Orlando?
No, I mean, guys have been working. Guys are obviously. I mean, if we're gonna go down there, we might as well try to win a championship. I think that's our goal and our focus. And obviously, everybody's in the same boat. Nobody's played with each other around the league. So, I think we're all kind of starting at like the same level, ground zero. And whoever can normalize it, the quickest, not make excuses, and just go out there and play basketball. I think that would be the most successful team. And, we going down there trying to win.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Jayson. Appreciate it.
I like the hair.
Thank you.